How we doing? Happy Thursday. We're almost to the weekend, and hope you guys have been doing great. New edition of the Ryan Ripken Show. And, boy, we got a doozy for you. Again, a lot of things to talk about. We will get into football later on the show. Sean Merriman, former All-Pro for the Chargers, played for the Bills, and he's a Maryland Terp. He's got a couple things upcoming that he wants to tell you about. Actually, one down in College Park. And guess what? Since Sean's still involved with the Chargers, the Ravens and Chargers made some moves recently. We're going to dissect that and a whole lot more. But we got to talk a lot about the MLB playoffs. A lot happened. The Jays are moving on. The Yankees are going home. And 2 Hall of Famers and 2 Yankees. Very critical of the front office. Oh, and then there's another drama-filled show. But, again, it's not with us. It's actually down south. Bill Belichick and UNC. Maybe some could say you could see it coming, but there is a lot going on down there that doesn't make you feel good about where this Tar Heel program is going. And then, as always, we'll riff, we'll raff. Zach will have a bet, and then we'll just hang out and have a good time. But again, if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Join me behind the sticks, Mr. Brad. Brad, how we doing today?
What's going on? This is a very interesting. So we go from like some crazy stories after the weekend and then the Belichick story. I'm definitely interested to dive into that because, this felt like it was a disaster from day one, and I can't wait to get started on that combo.
Yeah, I mean, that one is a juicy one. Not that everyone's so surprised.
Yeah.
But kind of where it's gone is maybe the surprising part here. And then to my right, Bali, how we doing?
The Yankees lose.
That's like your favorite thing.
It is my favorite thing. It is. It's always, what are we at now? 20 of the last 21 years or something as a Yankees hater. Another ringless year in New York. So it's always a good we're putting a dynasty together.
Yeah.
Over here. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. What a day. Love it. Yankees lose.
The Yankees lose. And I think a lot of people, I think the Yankees are the one team that everyone seems to unite against unless you are a Yankees fan. It's like every other fan base is versus the Yankees. We'll get into that all in a second, but I got to shout out Merit Clubs, by the way, which, by the way, guys, it's Halloween, and I figured out Black Friday is after Thanksgiving, but no tricks, just treats this Halloween at Merit Clubs because you can kick off your wellness journey early with their exclusive Black Friday savings. That's right. This month, you can join any Merit location for just $1 enrollment. So why wait until the new year to feel your best, Zach? Because apparently you don't go to the gym, according to Rocco.
Yeah, according to Rocco, he's like, yeah, Zach, how many times have you gone to Merit? I was like, that is literally the gym I belong to. I was like, I would love, Rocco, to compare the number of days we've all been at Merit because I know you will not be first.
And Rocco only does upper body for a different time.
On phone calls.
But if you guys want to get a head start, enjoy every festive moment guilt-free this holiday, knowing you're supported by a vibrant community. And look, we love Merit Clubs. They've been great to us, and they're dedicated to your well-being. Visit meritclubs.com to take advantage of $1 enrollment during their early Black Friday sale. That's right, Black Friday. I can't. Unique New York.
Jesus.
Black Friday sale. You know what? I got the Invisalign.
I know. You should just take it out for
going about as well as Bill Belichick and UNC.
Okay, that could have been a lot worse, but appreciate you, Merit Clubs. All right, can we dive into this now? Or do I sound better now?
I mean, kind of, sort of, yeah.
Yeah, we're there.
Just keep talking.
Just keep fighting through it.
Yep.
Well, fellas, the Jays punched their ticket to the championship round.
Yep.
First team to punch. Because the Phillies won last night to extend the series. So did the Cubbies earlier in the day. And now we're looking at Game 5 between the Tigers and the Mariners, which has been a hell of a series. But there's the Blue Jays. After blowing Game 3, a big lead. Aaron Judge had the moment. Momentum's on New York side. And the Blue Jays just punch him right in the mouth.
Yeah.
2-1 game, 2 outs. Nathan Lukes, who I played against a ton in the minor leagues, comes through with the big 2-out RBIs. And that sunk the ship finally for New York. and the Blue Jays are going back, and now they're one series win away from going to the World Series, a place they have not been in a while, but it's their first ALCS in 9 years.
Telling you, man, this feels like it's their year. They're the hottest team right now in the entire playoffs or postseason, and I don't know who beats them right now. The way that they're playing, it's crazy.
What?
Maybe not in the AL.
No,
right now,
that's what I mean.
Yeah, in the AL, I think obviously first the Dodgers. Well, the Dodgers have to get past Philly, obviously, still and close out that series. But yeah, in the AL right now, especially when you pick between the Mariners and the Tigers, you can't say the Tigers are this hot team. They feel like they're scratching and finding a way to just like
I would say
not have their season.
I would say even like between the AL and NL, there's only one team that's acting like an absolute buzzsaw right now, and it's the Blue Jays.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think if there was ever a year for the Blue Jays, it's this year.
Yeah.
And Rip agrees. What is he doing over there?
He's a wardrobe malfunction.
No, I'm trying to, is that better?
Yes, that's much better.
Sorry, I was trying to get the Invisalign out there, but it's doing its job. This smile is going to be BEA beautiful. But to that point, though, and I wanted to mention this because there's so many different ways that we can go with it. First off, the Jays, they were celebrating.
Yeah.
They were having
yeah.
They were celebrating hard, and you know what? Hey, power to them. They went in there, and they were humming that series. They deserved to win. I don't know if I would have done this. Zach, do we have the clip? So John Schneider, manager of the Blue Jays, he's feeling excited. I know that you just beat a rival, but you know what? If they don't win the World Series or go to it, this clip's going to be played quite a bit. Let's play that clip for you guys.
Okay, hey, ready? Every single one of you fucking bullpen game, Nathan Lucas, Miles Straw, all you motherfuckers, it takes everybody every day. Start spreading the news, bitches.
So they're fired up. And you know what? I told you guys, popping bottles is one of the best activities in sports.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I can't tell you how excited for the one time that I got to pop bottles in DAAA when we clinched and then we won the next playoff round to get to the championship. And I know some people be like, oh, well, why do you guys pop so many bottles? It's so damn hard to win in baseball. So, yeah, when you get a chance to celebrate, you celebrate. Kevin Gausman was having a good time. He was cursing left and right on an interview. He's like, yeah, I don't care. Who cares? I'm here to party, and he partied. And then he wrote like hashtag need electrolytes on X this morning. He was probably feeling a little bit of pain. But for the Blue Jays, I don't know if I would have, taunted the Yankees playing New York in their stadium. And with that, because now it's a big target on your back. I don't blame them for being your rival.
You know what, though? Like, the Yankees fans booed the Canadian national anthem. I don't know if anybody saw that. So I think I understand what you're saying. But at the same time, it's like, what goes around comes around.
Yeah. And you know what? The Blue Jays, they deserved it. Zach, do you have that one clip of Vladdy saying your favorite phrase?
No, somewhere? I don't. But I can go get it. That's for sure.
Well, so Vladdy then with Big Papi was going, oh, duh, Yankees lose. They were all
about 5 times in a row.
and you know what? Like, that's fun. You love the banter back and forth. I'm just a karma guy. You guys know I'm superstitious.
Yeah.
I don't like to poke the bear. I don't like to put it out there. Yeah, of course they can go walk the walk. And by the way, the Blue Jays did walk the walk.
Yes.
And one thing I wanted to point out in this series, which we had a lot to dive into because there were another side of this with the Yankees in a moment, but let's give credit to the Blue Jays first. There was a stat that the Fox Sports postgame put out that the Blue Jays had 18 two-strike hits.
That's
in
wild.
This series.
That's an insane stat.
Insane. So, and again, I can't fully confirm, but I heard that on the air, but I would believe it from the amount of times the Blue Jays came through this series. And if that's true, absolutely ridiculous. And also, if you want to, break it down a little bit, that's over 4 hits a game just on 2 strikes alone.
Right.
And the Blue Jays were tied, or they were the top team, or they were tied for the best batting average in all of baseball this year. And I know a lot of people say, batting average doesn't matter as much anymore. Spare me with that. In the postseason, it does. Pitching is so damn good nowadays. And yes, hitting a home run is the sexy thing, right? It can really bring a team back. You saw what Aaron Judge did in Game 3. But you know why the Blue Jays won this series? It was for the way to pass the baton on to the next guy. Because that's the other part. How do you get the big hit? You got to find a way to get on. And the Blue Jays, time and time again, were scratching and clawing, making it difficult for Yankee pitching. And then earlier in the series, did Vlad Guerrero Jr. have that big bop? Of course. Yeah. But did they make some things happen to get there?
Yep.
They did. And then that finale in Game 4, Vlad Guerrero in the first inning, 2 strikes, takes a pitch the other way down the line, makes it happen. Nathan Lukes is battling with 2 outs, making it happen. And the Yankees, I think I saw a stat, and shout out Ariel Epstein for this. The New York Yankees, outside of Aaron Judge, no hitter that had over 18 at-bats in this series, besides Aaron Judge, had a batting average of over 230 in this series. It matters. Mm-hmm. The little things matter in the postseason more than everything else.
Yep.
That's why you can see these bullpen games, because they're going to go to their best guys in the high leverage situations and match up. And the Blue Jays did it to perfection. The Yankees are going home. And shout out to Toronto, man. Mark Shapiro and that crew. We talked to Mark before the season started.
As the season was starting. Yeah. I mean, obviously credit to the whole Blue Jays team. Yes, I agree. But I do just the one guy that you obviously already brought up. You tweeted out this was a legacy series, and so far it's been a legacy postseason for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He was, yes, Aaron Judge. You can talk about the 3-run homer to tie in Game 3, stuff like that. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was the best player on the field, and I can, Brad, like you talked about with them being a buzzsaw, it's because of him. And right now, everyone else is kind of doing their job, getting singles, stuff like that, driving in runs when needed. But holy crap, right now, I'm not sure there's a hotter hitter on the planet than Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And it's awesome to see in a year that started with so much uncertainty. We talked to Mark Shapiro about it. It's like, hey, he said this, and even before Vladdy signed that, he was talking about like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. had an opportunity to become the face of Toronto. The guy in Toronto, become that franchise's guy, not just for this era, but forever. When you think of the Toronto Blue Jays, you'll think of Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and that's kind of where we're at, I believe. I think, he's there for 14 more years now with that massive extension. And right now, it's Vladdy's team, and what he is doing this season, this has been the year of Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
It has. And Vladdy in the series, by the way, hit 529. 3 jacks, 9 RBIs, 9 hits. And here's the other part with the Blue Jays. Vladdy, legacy series for him. He could go down as the greatest position player in Blue Jays history. He could, right? Long way to go. But that's what Mark was saying when we talked to him, president of the Blue Jays, Mark Shapiro, was that exact thought and theory that Vlad could be in these moments. And if he does what they believe he can do, elevate this team and go on to create a legacy, not just for Toronto sports, but Canadian sports altogether. Like that, Toronto is Canadians' team when it comes to baseball. But then shout out the rest of the Blue Jays lineup. Ernie Clement hit 643 in this series. Mm-hmm. They had 7 players on the Blue Jays that hit above 333 this series. And I just mentioned that the Yankees had 1, and that was Aaron Judge. Everyone else hit below 230. So shout out to the Blue Jays. Amazing that they are rolling. There's a reason why they were the number 1 seed. Actually, same record as the Yankees, but they own the tiebreaker. And now the Yankees fans, I know a lot of people in Baltimore are happy that the Yankees are going home, Zach being one of them. But in general, the Yankees, once again, will not have a World Series championship going back to New York. And this is an organization that you've heard, they've won a lot of championship over the years, but only 1 World Series title since 2009 and only 1 World Series appearance since that time. That was last year where they fell to the Dodgers. Let's talk about the Yankees on this side, because this is where it actually got juicy. We had the fun side with the Jays. Everyone's laughing. Duh, Yankees lose. They're having a good time. two Hall of Famers and two Yankees that really had an impact and imprint on that 2009 championship. Alex Rodriguez, and then the captain, Derek Jeter. They did not hold back any punches on the New York Yankees, but specifically the Yankees front office. A lot of people wanted to put blame on Aaron Boone. Well, which one we want to go with first, Zach? We want to go with A-Rod first?
It's both of them talking.
It's both of them? Well, guess what? A-Rod and Derek, they said the least of the worries is Aaron Boone. Take a listen.
Look, again, Aaron's been very classy. We've all been very consistent with that. Honestly, from the entire organization, he's the one guy with circle that has least to blame. I mean, he's got a lot of talent, but for me personally, one of the worst construction of a roster I've ever seen. You have 3 left-handed catchers, you have 5 DHs, you have a first baseman in and out. It's just a very, very difficult hand for Boone, and honestly, they were exposed against a much better Jays team.
Yeah, I mean, look, Aaron said it. They got beat. They got beat. You know, last year you can sit back and talk about the World Series in Game 5, and you can say Yankees beat themselves in that particular game. In this series, the Toronto Blue Jays proved that they were a better team. Right? From top to bottom, they were a better team. What's tough is for the Yankee fans, right? This is the second year in a row that they've watched another team celebrate on their home field. And you can feel the frustration. But look, those press conferences that Aaron just did, we've all been in them. They're very, very difficult because we've been a part of teams that we thought we're going to win a World Series, thought we were the best team, and it didn't happen, right? So I think sometimes you got to sit down and let it all digest for a minute. And I think it's probably a longer conversation to what you had brought up, Al. But Aaron did a good job. I mean, look, he's working with what he has to work with, and he sticks up for his players. I know he takes a lot of heat. But, look, I'm not saying it from any inside knowledge, but I'm pretty sure Aaron's not the one that's calling every move that they make throughout the game.
Interesting. And we've talked about in the past, and actually for Oriole fans, when that whole conversation about the GM, you know, if the Orioles don't hire a GM, how could they hire a manager?
Yeah.
There are people in the organization that still call the shots.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm bringing that up, in New York, Brian Cashman's been there for a very long time. Brian Cashman is top dog. Now, I don't think it's fully fair to say that the front office is making every single call, but I think it's a good point to make that everyone wants to blame a specific person.
Yep.
And here are two individuals saying, hey, Aaron Boone is the least of your problems. And I know Yankees fans hate that, but I like hearing from those guys because I do believe them that Aaron Boone is not perfect, Brad.
Right.
The Yankees have other issues, and that's another reason why they haven't gone over the hump.
I agree that Aaron Boone's the least of their problems. I mean, I think that he's masking a lot or being the front facing of a lot of the underlying issues. And A-Rob was right. 5 DHs? What are you doing with 5 DHs? The construction of the roster makes absolutely zero sense to me. And then you have a lot of players on that team that are also old. And the younger guys just aren't stepping up. Like I don't really understand where they go from here, other than to really carve out a lot of their roster and start anew. Not necessarily rebuild, but there's going to be a lot of retooling in that Yankees roster for sure.
Yeah, I mean, man, we went into this year, and I don't think any of us were shy about the fact that we were concerned that if there was something bad about the Yankees, and we saw it in that horrible stretch midseason that they seemed to always hit, it's Aaron Judge and friends. And when Aaron Judge was out, it depleted them.
Yeah.
They didn't do they couldn't do anything. And you sat there and, you know, I'm going to give Cashman credit. Incredible pitching rotation. He killed it there. They killed it there. Injuries happen. That's part of it. But, you know, like they were saying, you look at, they started the year out, and Jazz Chisholm, they were just like, hey, you're our third baseman. And even Jazz was kind of like, I'm not really a third baseman, like not the most comfortable. I will play it because that is our best chance.
Yeah.
But halfway through the year, they literally had to move him back because it was so bad. And it was like, okay, well, we don't have a second baseman. Okay, we don't have a second baseman.
Well, they played Volpe for way too long.
Yeah, it's like they were doing all these things. At one point, they had Ben Rice catching.
Yeah.
And what's the big problem with that is it's another lefty. So, okay, what are these platoons doing if, as they were saying, like, you have 3 lefty catchers and you're trying to platoon guys?
Right.
It's like, that's not helping. You have all these guys that are really DHs, and that's not going to help. Funny enough, probably your best player for a lot of the season, most clutch, was Trent Grisham, who was a throw-in on the trade you made. It's like, that's kind of where they were as the Yankees. Is it was Aaron Judge, and that offense, the pitching staff made big time, had big time games that kind of helped them win. Yep. The bullpen, even the guys they traded for, imploded at times. And I don't think it's all on Boone. I don't think that this is something where you can look at Boone and be like, if they had a different manager, this was something different. But I think they're at the point where that roster construction, it felt like everyone could see it a mile away of like, hey, if they're not, pitching well, if they're not, having these guys go out there and only allow 3 runs over 9 innings, this offense is very much able to just disappear at times under pressure when they're not hitting the home run.
I think that a lot of fans, if they had a different perception, but I think if you're an Orioles fan or you're a Yankees fan, the reality of what you're seeing is a way of winning baseball. For you to win in the postseason, you're going to have a different philosophy. Because the Yankees, actually, I love their pitching staff, who they have. If Garrett Cole's healthy next year, you would have had Rondon, Heel, Schlittler looks great. Fried, like, that's a really good staff. Plus the moves they made this offseason, past offseason in their bullpen, they got really good pitching pieces. The problem was you got to execute in the postseason. We heard in Baltimore, situational hitting, not living and dying by the long ball, which the Orioles didn't have a lot of long balls compared to previous years. But for the Yankees, I did mention that they had no hitter that had 18 or more at-bats that hit above 230 this postseason. So in this case, Austin Wells, 227. Ben Rice, 222. Anthony Volpe had 16 strikeouts and 26 at-bats. He hit 192. Trent Grisham, who was Mr. Clutch that you were referring to, Zach, he hit 138 this postseason. So Aaron Judge, people want to find different ways to knock Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge hit 500, had no PS north of 1,200. He had 13 hits. 1 home run. Aaron Judge was not the problem. Aaron Judge was the only thing that was keeping the Yankees afloat.
Yeah.
So, but what I think was exposed here, guys, is that the old school ways is what's going to get you victories moving forward. The Brew Crew, to me, was a good example. The Brew Crew makes things happen over there in Milwaukee. They're 1 win away from going to the championship series. The Blue Jays, I would argue, are similar in that way. There's nothing on paper that would say, in my mind, that the Blue Jays have the better pitching staff than the New York Yankees, or better pitching staff than the Tigers and the Mariners.
Right.
Yet the Blue Jays won the season series against the Yankees, the Tigers, and the Mariners.
Yeah, they're just playing better baseball.
The little things, man. The little things matter. And in the postseason, like regular season, you can get away with, a couple errors here. We hit a big ball. Do you see how tense it gets in October? An error, one mistake can ruin the series or the season. And for New York, they're going home. But I think a lot of people around baseball, we talked to Don Mattingly, who's the bench coach, also one of the best hitters of his time. He's the bench coach for the Blue Jays. And he said that there's a change going back to a little bit of the old school. New school analytics, it has a place in baseball, no doubt 100%. But you can tell that how Don plays and not striking out and putting the ball in play, the Blue Jays were a way different team. They had the most comeback wins in baseball this year, and they were tough outs, and they made it difficult. And that's why they're going to be a difficult out here as we move towards the next round. But if you are new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. We're live every Monday, Thursday, and Sunday right here on YouTube, X, and Facebook. Actually, we'll have another impromptu stream tomorrow on Friday. We're going to try to do some little happy hours. But Kyle and the Iron Rooster is like, I don't want to miss a week. So he said he wanted to come in and cook. So maybe that will just be for our Ryan Ripken Show audience, and maybe for the channel members, specifically the channel members. We'll go live for everybody, but a little Q&A, Brad, for them.
I like it.
So, and for those that are wondering, our channel members, if you want to join, the join button's right next to subscribe. So if you're not subscribed, click that button. If you want to be a channel member, click that other button and be a Rips Good Kid or Rips Better Kid. And we're going to have our newsletter going out tomorrow, right, Brad?
Yes.
And we'll have a couple other videos for the content pieces. Am I missing anything there?
Nope. And we are actually about to go into we're about 30 minutes into the show, so we're actually about to go to members only mode in the chat as well. So if you want to engage in the chat, if you're not in there, then hit that join button next to subscribe and help support the show.
It all helps us, people helping people. We're just trying to continue to rise up here on the Ryan Ripken Show and Ryan Ripken Media. So that was the baseball part. Still some great series. We'll discuss more of the Tigers, Mariners, the Phillies, Dodgers, and the Brewers, Cubs later on next week when it all finishes up. But I love postseason baseball. I also love college football. But if you're a fan of the UNC Tar Heels, you can't be loving what's happening down there in Chapel Hill. And guys,
Chapel Bill.
They used to – so it gets called Chapel Thrill, the Thrill, and now Chapel Bill. Well, right now, we had a wild story, obviously, over the weekend with the Mark Sanchez situation.
Yeah, still unfolding.
But in this case, we got a very wild and unpredictable situation forming down in UNC, and it's
kind of predictable.
But I think where it's gone in the reports, I think is going to a place that you really like. It's making you have the feeling right now of what the hell is going on down at UNC, because right now there is more uncertainty and a giant cloud over the program, not just with how they played on the field, but the future of Bill Belichick as a college football coach. So there were reports coming out in the last couple days, and then Ollie Connolly right here, as you can see, put this out on X yesterday. Per sources, Bill Belichick has discussed buyout options with North Carolina's hierarchy. Belichick has signaled a willingness to trigger his own $1 million buyout if he can find a soft landing with another team or in media. But it's not where it ends. There's this giant thread, and I'll keep reading for you guys because we have this on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. But members of Belichick's coaching staff have already spoken to other schools that are expected to be in the college football playoff about taking on roles during the postseason. From one coach, and I quote, "The rats are leaving the ship. Some staffers believe a change will come within 2 weeks." And again, this is all the rumored, alleged hearsay, but it continues here in the rest of the report. Ollie says the reports of serious recruiting violations remain under investigation at UNC. Recruiting and practice violations have already been proven by the school, according to multiple sources. Using recruit violations to knock down a coach's buyout has become a standard practice, and if Belichick cannot find a landing spot to trigger his own buyout, he's expected to accept a greatly reduced compromised rate. Belichick's communication with his staff in the past 2 weeks has been described as, and I quote, "weird and distant" by multiple members of UNC's coaching staff. Multiple coaches were unable to get a hold of him during UNC's bye week. And this is probably one of the most concerning for the program's case because it involves the kids. But from one UNC defensive assistant, and I quote, "what we've done to these kids is fucked up," end quote. So we're trying to put the pieces together here. It's been an awful year for UNC. The first day, you felt hope. It's packed. They're playing TCU. They score on the opening drive.
Yep.
And then they get boat raced out of the stadium. And then they get their win. And then there's just a lot of ugliness. And then they played Clemson. And Clemson's having a down year for themselves. The game was uncompetitive. And I think what you're seeing with all these reports is there's so much dysfunction that's happening at UNC. And again,
Right.
we don't know, Zach, right? Like, we're getting these reports. We don't know exactly what is going on inside of UNC, but there's a lot of people that are hearing similar conversations, the similar sources, similar information. And Paul Feinbaum went on ESPN Get Up today and was kind of talking about the legacy and this whole situation. And he thinks that this needs to come to an end sooner for Bill Belichick and UNC than later. Let's play that clip.
Elitist of the elite in the NFL. College so far has been another story. You probably saw it all over the internet yesterday. Numerous reports that suggested that Bill Belichick and North Carolina were engaged in negotiations to lower his buyout after a dismal start to his tenure. It got enough, the noise got loud enough that Belichick and the school released statements last night countering those claims. Belichick said, "I'm fully committed to UNC football and the program we're building here." Bubba Cunningham, the AD, said Coach Belichick has the full support of the Department of Athletics and University. So they're saying it's not over yet, and that may be true, but obviously it has been bad and it's getting very loud. And so to add to the voices we bring in, our Paul Feinbaum. Paul, what is your sense of what's going on in Chapel Hill right now?
Greeny, first of all, I felt those statements were completely and totally bogus. If you're going to make a declarative statement, make it. Don't just issue a meaningless piece of paper, which is what Belichick did. It feels to me like it is over. And I think his behavior is indicative of that. Not to make too much out of it, but he basically took a week off during the bye week. And he's entitled to have his own private life. We've said that repeatedly here, but I've never heard of a coach in big-time college football to do something like that. Maybe take an afternoon off to play golf during the bye week, but not go on vacation. So to me, he has checked out. The play on the field has checked out. His coaching has been abysmal. And I think Bill Belichick would be wise to walk out now before the humiliation gets any worse.
So people aren't buying the statement.
Nope.
And it was very generic, cover your grounds, right? And we understand that.
It was literally as generic as it gets.
There it is.
Bill Belichick, I'm fully committed to UNC football and the program we're building here. Bubba Cunningham, director of athletics, Coach Belichick has the full support of the Department of Athletics and University.
It's like he's really like Belichick is trying to reinstate the same culture that he had in New England, where it's just we're on the Cincinnati, and it just doesn't work that way in college football. This feels like the same Bill Belichick that coached the Cleveland Browns before he got into New England, and I just don't see how this gets turned around at all. I'm 100% with Feinbaum. I don't know what they need to do, but it looks like the writing is on the wall to me.
Well, I think the bigger part is the behavior. That's something that when you win and you're able to do it that way, people aren't going to talk about you, and they're not going to care how you do it if you win.
Yeah.
And New England had the greatest run in NFL history with Belichick as the head coach and Tom Brady.
I mean, it helps when you have the GOAT.
But now the conversation, that legacy, which I hated it for that moment because Brady was no doubt the greatest of all time. But now the more that these antics go on, the more that people are going to continue to take away what Bill Belichick was a part of. And Tom Brady, of course, huge part, obviously, of what the Patriots ended up doing. But here's the other part, and this is the behavior that we're talking about. Inside Carolina put this out. UNC is no longer moving forward with the in-season documentary with Hulu. If you guys forgot about that, they were supposed to have, what, 1 or 2 documentaries, Zach, this year?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you this. I would pay so much money for them to release this because it's been an absolute
the behind the scenes.
Yes, this is incredible. So the NC1, I think someone put it perfectly. If you are canceling a documentary because things aren't going the way you thought, that's not a documentary, that's a PR stint, which is true. If they were only doing this and then we're going to release it if they were doing super well, then of course. But this also tells me that things are going on behind the scenes that they don't want out there. They are like, we're not doing this anymore. I think players are checked out. It just everything. I think it's hit the nail on the head. This is I wanted to say that I didn't see this coming, but I feel like everyone kind of saw this coming when he went there. I know that Lombardi put out a massive email statement to donors and boosters and everything, pretty much saying, trust the process. We're doing all this stuff, other teams. And someone made the comment, I think on ESPN or something, I agree. What are we talking about? And this is we knew the first year was going to be rough, but we're, building something here, almost acting like they're tanking. And everyone's like, there are no draft picks in college football. Right. You're not rewarded for being bad. So when they're talking about stuff like that, I understand why donors and everyone are going to be kind of suspicious of hey, what's going on here? Because it's been ugly, and the PR around it has been ugly. Everything that comes out about it has been ugly. It's not like we have conflicting reports where half the people are like, no, Bill's committed. No, these kids, they want to win. They are committed here. And the other part's I'm hearing some things different. It's okay, which is right? Every report is, it's a shit show in Chapel Hill.
Oh, yeah. And then hearing about the violations. That's a lot of the other reporting that's coming out, is all of the violations that they're committing. And again, this is alleged. I can't sit here and honestly tell you that. So for everyone that wants to fact check me, hey, don't shoot the messenger. Those are just all the reports are coming out of there. But when you see something get canceled, that also goes into the possibility of behind the scenes.
Look, when there's smoke, there's fire, right? I mean, I'm not,
no doubt.
not to say that this is 100% all true, but it would be hard to believe that none of it's true.
Oh yeah, there's something there, and wow, has it been a wild last few years for Bill Belichick? And here's their schedule moving forward. So their 2 wins this year, Charlotte and Richmond. No offense to Charlotte and Richmond. They should win by 17 and 35 points. But look at the other competitive Power 5 teams that they've had to play. TCU lost by 34 at home. Lost at UCF by 25. Lost at home to Clemson by 28. And the ride's not going to get any easier. California at Cal. You can say what you want about some of these teams. The ACC, I think, is a lot more solid. And honestly, when you're looking at these teams, is UNC actually better than any of these teams that's going to be left on their schedule? And there's a possibility here that this could be far worse than UNC was hoping for, and especially when you moved on from Mac Brown as your head coach. Right. You thought you were going to take a risk, greatest coach in the history of the sport, and now you're thinking about, well, where the hell is our program going to go? What the hell does this mean for UNC? And then what does it mean for Bill Belichick moving forward?
Almost feels like this is his semi-retirement job. This is kind of what it feels like.
Well, and that's the thing. I think that's what's so frustrating if I'm a UNC fan, because you had all this expectation of Bill Belichick is coming here to change the program. We have all this money coming in. Lombardi, a former NFL GM, is now running the ship, for recruiting and all that. And then you get there and it's he's taking the bye week off. He's vacationing. He's not, and it's not one of those things where it's he's vacationing, but he's getting things done. Okay, hey guys, I'm going to be at the Florida home. I'm still going to be doing my stuff, but why'd you go down there? All this, coaches are saying they can't get a hold of him. It's not there's he's virtual, everyone on your bye week, but we still have our meetings here and there, all this stuff. It sounds like just a shit show there. There's no one knows. And I think the one guy, I forget who they said at the source, but where it's what they're doing to these kids is messed up. Imagine if you're a senior and you came here as your final resort because Bill Belichick promised to get you ready for the NFL and give you an opportunity. And now the school you're at, instead of giving you a chance and an opportunity, and you're okay, this put me in a better position, the best position to succeed in myself. You're part of the laughing stock of the NCAA. You're not, your draft stock is plummeted. It's just, I think they have done a disservice to everyone that has walked into UNC to be a part of the football program since they've gotten there. And it's just been weird from day one.
It's been strange. You were hopeful that all the excitement and attention it was bringing to the university would create an outcome that was so positive and great moving forward. In the process, UNC feels like they've taken 5 steps back. And we'll see how it all unfolds. But right now, it seems like the UNC and Bill Belichick era, it's going to be a blip. And it's going to possibly go down as one of the most disastrous for what has been a career in the NFL with Bill Belichick, of being at the peak for what, 2 decades?
Yeah.
To now sinking to whatever this has become. So if you're new to the channel, though, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. And Laura, I see it. Can I get a $4 ticket to see Syracuse? Well,
Apparently so.
I mean, tickets are as low as $4. But that's at Syracuse, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, if you play in Chapel Hill, now it's down to $63 to play. UVA's 19th in the country. The Who's are playing some good ball.
Yeah.
They're playing some good ball. Oh, man, guys, I can't believe it's Thursday. I can't believe it's October. It's almost mid-October.
I know.
Yeah.
Spooky season's coming by quick. And really, actually, I can't believe how much time flies. And we haven't even gotten to what's in front of Zach. I don't know if we can see it on the camera. But if you're wondering what the hell is in front of Zach, Zach is celebrating his 2 years here at the Ryan Ripken Show.
Look at this.
There we go.
That's so awesome.
We got to shout out Nancy.
Yes.
Yeah. She
Mama Bali just came through.
She is awesome.
absolutely killed it with the logo and everything. So yeah, 2 years to the day, my first episode ever of the Ryan Ripken Show, as we were at that point virtual, but then I guess the next week we all sat in a line right over here. And I was going back in all the different setups we've had. It's crazy to think 2 years. 2 years of doing all this.
Yeah, your boy loves to move shit around to make it look as good as it can.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the longest our setup has ever been.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
We tried different things. We were couch on couch, staring at each other from like
we
5
were in the
feet away in the middle. We were
in the dark.
We were over here. We were over there.
Yeah.
We were really setting like a Rip After Dark movie, by the way.
I got to say too, Zach, that I know for a fact is going to be a problem for me just because of the strong history of baked goods from Nancy Bollinger.
Oh yeah.
The road trip.
This is going to be a problem. I feel like you need to take this out of the studio.
I know this is going to be, I mean, and it is.
We need a photo of just this thing,
because it's going to get destroyed.
I already took the photo. Don't worry. We got the.
Is it a great photo?
We got.
Oh, that is.
Oh, that's a good one.
That might be your best work.
I tried. What can I say? I tried.
And Nancy, thank you again.
Shout out, Mom. Shout out,
Shout out, Nancy.
The moms make it go. Maybe we need to have a mom's episode one of these
Yeah.
days. Mom's appreciation here. You know?
Yeah.
Who knows where that could exactly go? I can speak for my mom. I know where it can go, and it terrifies the hell out of me.
Yeah.
I
was like, as soon as you said that, I was like, maybe.
Well, Kelly's like,
kind of sounds like not a great.
yeah, well, let's do the Rip After Dark. I'm like, Mom, do you understand what Rip After Dark actually happens? Do we get
Oh, I think she knows exactly what happens in Rip After Dark. That's what's the scary part.
Yeah. Well, and that throwback 2 years ago, and we appreciate all the support so far from all of you, and thank you as we continue to build up here.
Yeah.
It's been a fun ride. Far from where we want to go, but we're a lot further along than we were 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So appreciate you guys. Into the fall. 2 years passed.
That's crazy.
Some would say it's bananas.
Yeah. BANANAS.
It's a good Throwback Thursday song, too. I'll tell you what, that song, it's a good sing-along part right there. It's one of the one choruses I think that everyone, if they heard that out loud, you'd know.
Oh, yeah.
I would think. Also, side note, have you been hearing this like Portuguese 80s funk song that's like AI made that's on Instagram right now?
No.
Have you heard it?
No.
Dude, we're going to have to listen to it. It is a vibe. I don't even know what it means.
With that.
I don't even know what. No, I'm just thinking of the music. You know, just a little bit of transition. We're taking a break here for a second as we get back into the
a left turn, if you will.
a little left turn here. Set hut.
Yeah, I will say just real fast because I just finally found it. This is one of my favorite tweets from this football season. Just the overreactions of everyone. This is Skip Bayless, all-timer. After the first drive of the TC.
Oh, I remember seeing that. Is
You know,
that what
Skip
we have to
Bayless
do?
is the Jim Cramer of football. Like, if you guys don't know anything about finance, Jim Cramer does this kind of shit all the time.
I feel like I
It's
need
like,
to do that.
yeah, buy Tesla, and then Tesla tanks. That's exactly what Jim Cramer does.
Belichick has a net. How many points has UNC's football scored?
30 points, I think. 33 points their whole season.
Yeah, that is an all-time clip. That's for sure.
National championship offense. One drive into the season.
They scored one more touchdown that game and lost by.
They got out there, scored 38-7 after this tweet.
No, 48 to
48-7.
48 to 7.
Oh, my mistake. That's a disgrace to TCU. Right
Yeah, well, points allowed are about as much as the Ravens this season. So,
Oh, goodness. Oh, you reel us back in for the reality. Good, great, grand.
yeah,
Wonderful. No yelling on the bus.
gonna turn this damn bus around.
Yeah. That'll ruin your damn field trip. Well, right now, a lot of Ravens fans feel like the season's been a little bit ruined through 5 weeks. It's not ruined yet. It's not over yet. Are tensions high? Yeah, I mean, yes. Have there been multiple calls for coaching changes and people are mad at the defense and players and that? Yes. Are there still 12 games left in the season? Yes. Is playing the Rams at home with Matthew Stafford at quarterback a little bit terrifying? Yes. But we are where we are. Right now for the Ravens, they sit at 1-4. Still favored by Vegas to win the division some way, somehow. But I think they want to try to rewrite what has happened over the last few weeks, really the way that they played. I don't think we're going to play the clip, but J.J. Watt was on the call. Oh, down goes the photo of Ollie. Sorry. But J.J. Watt was on the call with Iron Eagle, and J.J. Watt just said on the McAfee show, essentially, like it felt like a preseason game. And when you come to Baltimore to play the Ravens, there's a certain brand of football that you expect. The fans are into it. If it's a day game, it feels like a night game. The intensity, it's there. And he said by halftime, it was a preseason game, and from the jump, it never felt right. Yeah. And the score indicated that. Texans come to Baltimore and win their first game. If there's a positive here, the Ravens are getting some guys back this week. Yeah. Kyle Hamilton is practicing. You're hoping Marlon Humphrey can get back.
Marlon Humphrey returned to practice. And then, honestly, the one that I think most people are kind of most excited about, it's not going to be this week, but Pat Ricard did return to practice this week or today. I don't think he plays.
You know what he was doing? He's catching balls.
Yeah. He know your role. We might need him. But I do think that I am going into Sunday with a 1-5 mentality because I think that's just kind of the writing on the wall. So I'm not going to sit here and have my tone change on the season with a loss on Sunday. I think this team is get healthy after the bye. Now, if they somehow miraculously, they're NFL football players, they could put something together. We saw the 49ers go out there beaten up on 4 days rest and beat the Rams. So anything is possible. But I think the plan is schedule opens up, Ravens get healthy, Lamar back after the bye, hopefully. And then from there, let's play football and see where the chips lie at the end of 18 weeks. I think that's just what you have to, the mentality the Ravens have. I saw something where they have a 57% chance right now, apparently, to win 10 games. I think 10 games get you into the playoff this year, especially in the AFC, in a conference that everyone is kind of hovering and no one really wants to take charge and be like, oh, we know the division winners already. So we'll see what happens. But I think getting healthy and then playing ball and seeing where the chips fall is kind of the mentality the Ravens have to have right now.
You got to get healthy and as healthy as you possibly can get. And we have a couple clips here. And by the way, Sean's running a few minutes behind, so we might see him around 5:10, 5:15 here. So, but the Steelers right now, that's the team that's benefiting from just the disaster in the AFC North from the Ravens.
Yeah.
The Browns are 1-4, who they play this week. And then the Bengals just traded for Joe Flacco, which I would love to believe that Joe could elevate that offense, at least throwing the ball, but the Bengals' weakness is that offensive line. They got to play the Packers, and then they got to play the Steelers.
Also, hold on. Did you see what's his face on Pat McAfee show talking about how Joe Flacco's already beaten the Packers once?
Yeah.
This season. Ty Schmidt was like, and now we got to face him again. Like, wouldn't that be some shit?
If
Joe Flacco beats the Packers twice in one season.
Undefeated. Defeated by everyone else except
Joe
Packers.
Flacco.
Like, that's what it'd be. Joe would have lost every other game.
Yeah.
For the
but
Packers.
being undefeated against the Packers. But the Steelers, then they get the Browns with the rookie quarterback, and they get Joe Flacco as the quarterback of the Bengals in back-to-back games. Yeah. They went like those are very winnable games for Pittsburgh, a team that usually doesn't beat themselves. So if that was the case, 5-1, and the Ravens would lose, it's a 4-game lead. That's going to be a lot to make up. Not impossible, but like Pittsburgh is in the driver's seat.
I do have to just say 16 on Flacco don't look right. Flacco wearing 16, don't like it.
Flacco wearing anything but 5 doesn't look right.
Yeah. You see Snoop Huntley took 5?
Yeah.
Maybe getting some Flacco vibes.
Because, they have the same profile as a quarterback, too.
Yeah, there was
pocket passers. Joe is known, if you guys go back to his rookie year, Joe's actually known for his speed, wide receiver 1.
Wide receiver 1. Yeah, we might me and Molly might get matching Flacco. Well, I already have a Flacco jersey, but I told her, I was like, matching Flacco jerseys? Bengals one? Everyone's a Flacco fan now.
If you wore a Flacco's Ravens jersey to Cincinnati now,
Bengals game,
like, would that be accepted? Especially if they win. Like, what if they win and you're like, hey, I'm just repping my guy?
No, let's flip the script. What if it was Flacco, a Bengals jersey, and Flacco was playing for the Ravens again? Like, everybody's gonna say, go get a goddamn Ravens jersey.
Well,
they're not playing them?
Okay, not playing the Ravens.
Yeah,
okay, then we're maybe getting a little more, because I was thinking the closest thing.
That's still bullshit. Just find something else to wear that's Bengals related.
I'm trying to think what would be.
That'd be the one way Bengals and Ravens fans can come together.
Nope.
Is Joe Flacco.
No.
Although we said that about Browns fans and that kind of happened. I do appreciate
it did kind of happen, right? Like Browns and Ravens fans.
But here's what I was saying. I think that happened though because like no one in Baltimore is even semi-threatened by the Cleveland Browns, just in any aspect, to the point of it was fun to be like, oh, look, Flacco's helping the Browns out. Like, this is cool. Like, what a charity event. And then, like, now with all those weapons in Cincinnati, I was like, yo, let's not do this. Like, let's not go super Joe. I mean, Joe Flacco can go on his 5-week stretch where you're like,
Joe Flacco and a Jamar Chase. Like,
oh, that's the deep ball. That's all day.
So here's what we're going to see. It's either that Joe's going to be running from his life or for his life because the Packers with Gary and Micah Parsons are going to be getting after him.
The Bengals' offensive line is atrocious.
So that's my point. Jake Browning, sorry, Joe, is a little bit more mobile at this stage of his career compared to where Joe is. So 2 options. Screw it. Jamar's down there somewhere. Or it's going to be captain check down and Chase Brown is going to be a PPR merchant in fantasy football. I'm starting him this week.
Yeah, I am too. I think, honestly, I know the mobility definitely leans, is definitely in Jake Browning. But I think if you want to just talk about the fearlessness, Joe Flacco, he'll still stand there and he's going to, whereas maybe Browning's like, okay, I'm going to throw this away. Not Joe. He's going to see Jamar 50 yards down the field. He's like, I can hit him over the top. Yeah. I'll hit him over the top.
But that Jake did try to do that at times. He's like, I'm going to throw this, but he couldn't get there because Joe can still throw the football 80 yards.
I was going to say, Joe Flacco throws a deep ball at his age.
He still has
99% of the league.
Joe's not going to be able to walk.
Still got the cannon.
Yeah, Joe's not going to be able to walk one day. Like, say, if Joe's just using a cane when he's older, something like that. You're like, hey, Joe. Oh, like, excuse me, sir, can you throw this football back to us?
80
and he picks it up 80 yards. Like, I wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
He says he loves football. He lives and breathes it. That'll be an interesting match to watch. We'll get into a little bit more of the Ravens, but you mentioned the Browns, Brad and Zach, about like people aren't taking the Browns seriously. I don't think what's happening right now in Cleveland with their quarterback too, which again, of course, no one talks about a team's third string and now second string quarterback more than what's happening with Cleveland.
Yeah.
The reason is because of who they drafted, and Shedeur Sanders has been one of the most talked about, obviously, college players when he was there at Colorado and now in the NFL. And people are kind of going nuts over all this. And the reason why I want to bring this up is that Kevin Stefanski, the head coach, has not come out yet as we record this of announcing Shedeur to be the number 2 quarterback. Now, he very well could, but when he was asked about it earlier, he declined to announce the backup versus the Steelers. And that set off a frenzy of comments here. And I think the one that we had to play, Zach, could you pull it back up, was TJ Houshmandzadeh, former Bengals wide receiver and Ravens for a hot minute. He just bashed Kevin Stefanski here. So let's play that clip, and then we're going to have a conversation on the other side.
Kevin Stefanski full of shit. You talk about instilling confidence into your players. How you think that makes Shedeur feel? I don't know who the backup is? Yeah. You got to be kidding me. You really going to bring up Bailey Zappi from the practice squad and make him the backup over me, and I've been on the active roster? Mm-hmm. Players in the locker room that like Shedeur off of that comment, they don't mess with Kevin Stefanski. They don't, because you are really trying to lower this man's confidence. You don't treat people like they can't. If they can't play, get them off the team.
Yeah.
Get them off the team.
Yeah.
You stringing somebody along. All right, I'm the backup. Yeah. Nah, you might not even be the backup.
Yeah.
I'm done with him, bro. Like, I want to see him just lose every game now. Like, coaches like him shouldn't be head coaches.
So, and this is where I try to take a step back, because none of us are inside of the Cleveland Browns locker room. And of course, from the outside, when you're going, it would make logical sense for Shedeur to be the number 2 quarterback because you traded away Joe and you just drafted Shedeur this year. And clearly you still value him because you kept 4 quarterbacks to start the year.
Yeah.
But these are a lot of personal attacks. And look, again, I don't know what's happening in there, but at least for Kevin Stefanski's case, if you're going to say he's awful as a coach, what, Zach? He's a 2-time head coach of the year, right?
Yeah.
So on a Browns team that's been dysfunctional ever since that really first year, him with Joe Flacco as his starter, they were humming. They were a really tough team. And then obviously the playoffs happened against Houston that knocked them out. So I don't think it's fair to say that about Kevin. But right now, what has been the Browns' problem over the years? It's been everything else besides what's going on the field.
Well, it's been the quarterbacks in general.
Yeah.
The Cleveland Browns, I don't know if you guys know this, they're paying 8 quarterbacks.
8?
You want to list them?
Oh, that's
just think if you can list all 8 quarterbacks
8
the Cleveland Browns are paying right now.
So would they be paying Joe Flacco?
They're still paying Joe Flacco.
Okay.
They're paying Joe Flacco $999,000 this year.
Okay. So then you have Gabriel and Shedeur.
Right. That's 3. 5 more.
Is it going to be something weird with like Baker Mayfield? No, they can't be paying Baker.
Not paying Baker. He's not on the list.
Deshaun Watson, I apologize.
Deshaun Watson.
Bailey Zappi now?
Bailey Zappi, yep.
Okay.
That's 5.
It's going to be something insane that they're still doing.
So they're paying 2 more quarterbacks?
3 more quarterbacks. I'll give you a hint. He also played for the Steelers his rookie season.
Kenny Pickett?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
6. Oh yeah, that makes sense.
He was on the team.
Playing Kenny Pickett, and then there's another quarterback on here that's currently on the bench for the Giants.
Jameis Winston.
Oh
my goodness.
And Dorian Thompson-Robinson, they're paying another $171,000. So they're paying 8 quarterbacks. And this has been the theme with the Browns. They can't figure out their quarterback. For the last, 35, 40 years, they've had an obscene amount of quarterbacks over their franchise history. And this is pre-Ravens and post-Ravens. They can't figure it out to save themselves. And this is just continuing to be a huge problem. I don't know what's going on in the locker room with Shedeur Sanders. I have all the confidence in the world in Kevin Stefanski. I mean, he wasn't the coach of the year, but he was in the running for coach of the year, right? The first year he came into the league.
I think he's won the award twice.
Okay,
yeah,
so
2020 and 2023.
Thank you. Okay, so thanks for clarifying. So, I mean, The guy knows how to coach. He knows how to run a locker room. I don't know what's going on with the Shedeur Sanders situation, but I have to believe it's kind of what we've talked about. There's his side, her side, and the truth as far as like, what's being said.
Yeah.
I think there's something in the middle where like Shedeur Sanders might not be as polished of a teammate as maybe some might think he should be. Maybe that doesn't matter to some people. Maybe it matters to Kevin Stefanski. I don't know. But my thing is like I'm going to pause and pump the brakes on calling out Kevin Stefanski and hoping that he loses every game because of the decision he made at QB.
And I mean, the other part is we don't know what's happening in practice. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, we don't know.
Is Shedeur proving in practice that I know when you have the practice squad now and you don't have as many of the reps, but through the preseason, was there enough that justified? And then also the draft, Gabriel was their 3rd round pick, and then they're saying, well, was Barry the one who is their GM president of operations? That is his guy Shedeur, is Stefanski's guy Gabriel? I don't know, but the point, the reality of the situation is it seems like if Zappe gets moved up, there's way more going on in this locker room and this organization than's being talked about. Whether it's fair or not, it's weird. And the other problem is that it's taking conversation off the fact that the Cleveland Browns, despite all of this, they could have a winning record. And if you guys hear me out for a second, they could be, instead of being 1-4, they could be 3-2. They lost to the Bengals, where they only allowed 7 yards in the second half on the opening week.
Yep.
And they missed at a kick blocked, and a ball hit off their wide receiver's hands that was picked. And then a game-winning drive by Carson Wentz in London. So, like, this team could be 3-2.
Yeah.
So despite all of this, this isn't for me, it's not even about Shedeur. It's not even about Dillon Gabriel, whatever the quarterback situation is. I think the fact of the matter is it's another week, and the focus is not on the Cleveland Browns at all as a football team.
Right.
Like, at all about that they are a couple plays here and there from being a win. Like, they could be playing the Steelers right now at 3-2 for first place in the division. Like, that's how crazy this is to me. But we'll find out. But
the Browns just I've said it for the last couple of weeks. They're just cursed at the quarterback position. They're just cursed. I just don't know what else they can do.
Well, didn't help the Deshaun Watson situation. Did not help that you traded for a guy, fully guaranteed the contract.
Yeah.
And then now, well, we know what's happening now. But the Shedeur Sanders thing, I do believe this. It will play itself out. And the talent, in my opinion, if you are talented enough and you get a chance, an opportunity, we will see it shine through at some point. And it may not happen the way that you think. I just am a believer of that. You put your head down and you keep working, because look around what Cleveland also did. Or sorry, the Panthers did this, but they did it to Baker.
Yeah.
The Panthers did it to Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield. But Baker Mayfield, people wanted to cast him off, all of a sudden lost all the confidence. Now Baker Mayfield is an MVP candidate.
Do you know how many quarterbacks that have played for the Cleveland Browns since 1999?
Oh, gosh. It's probably more than Zach's birth year or age. Zach's 25, so they probably
way more.
It's way more than that.
Way more.
43?
It's 41.
Damn.
41. Dillon Gabriel was the 41st starting quarterback since 1999 to play for the Browns. That's about 2 per year. They haven't had a stable quarterback since coming back as a franchise.
Well, they had one and then they ran him out down.
They made
which is the most
Baker Mayfield
thing ever.
I will say of this, if there is and this is why, I don't know, but the one thing if I'm going to say with Kevin Stefanski threw Baker under the bus a lot.
Yeah.
So again, I can't sit here and say that what people could be justified towards their comments, but at least from what we know, Stefanski has proven that he can win as a head coach and be a coach of the year. He's proven that.
Yeah. He took a Joe Flacco-led team to
He did, but also one of his flaws is they did blame Baker Mayfield as being the reason and being the
I don't
problem.
think that was Kevin Stefanski as much as it was the organization.
I think as a whole,
because they wanted Deshaun Watson that bad.
Yeah. Did you guys see Baker talking about the difference in his attitude between now and earlier in his career.
Yeah.
And he pretty much said that, like, he hasn't changed. And he literally said, and I quote, early on in my career, it was cocky and immature. Now it's moxie and he's a dog. Baker's always been doing the stuff he's been doing in Tampa Bay. It's just for some reason, you know, obviously when you're a younger quarterback, things are going to be taken differently because you don't have that, you know, status yet in the league. But I mean, you think about everything and the Browns, what they gave up for Deshaun. If they would have kept that and kept Baker, now I don't think the relationship in Cleveland was good enough for Baker to have this amount of success, but they would be in a whole lot of a better circumstance. They would just be in a plain better circumstance than they are now. And I think they would actually be Super Bowl contenders if they had just simply Baker Mayfield and take away, you know, not add in the fact that they'd have 2 more first round picks or whatever it is.
Yeah. The one thing I will say that I agree with the sentiment of everyone that's been against Stefanski, and Hushmanzado is really out there about it. Obviously, one way or another, you got to find out if Gabriel Shador is going to be a guy. You have to figure that out.
Yep.
And I think you got to have to figure out who that is this year.
Yeah, look.
Because if not, then what is the point?
In no way, shape, or form am I saying that Bailey Zappi should be ahead of Shador Sanders.
Of course, I don't think any of us are. Yeah,
but I think that I don't think that Kevin Stefanski just not coming straight out and saying that Shador Sanders is the clear number 2 guy. I'd imagine that guy's got way too much to worry about than to try to appease the media on who should be his second string quarterback, because no other head coach has to worry about that bullshit.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But the team that does have to worry about it is the Cleveland Browns, and we'll find out, I guess, soon who QB number 2 will be for the Browns. But right now, we do know Dylan Gabriel will be the one that's under center when they play the Pittsburgh Steelers. And maybe they pull off a win, or maybe they don't. And you know what? Nothing would surprise me.
Judkins might be that dude too. Huh?
He is that dude. He is that dude. Oh, man. But, hey, if you are new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. We're live every Monday, Thursday, and Sunday right here on YouTube, X, and Facebook. We've really gone through a whole bunch of topics, as you guys know. We're based around Maryland here, where there's a lot of pro sports going on in college. Got the Ravens, the Terps, the Commanders down the road. Baseball ended in Baltimore. We'll figure out more of those conversations as we go along here. And you know what? Maybe the Cleveland Browns just need a little bit more 80s Portuguese funk. You know what? I think that's actually what gets people relaxed.
I don't think so.
Gets the people going.
So.
I'm going to play this song for you guys.
I don't think you need to.
I think I might be.
I like
good.
how you went into it just so confident that we were going to be like, oh, yeah. That song
We're
that's
going to
going
listen
around.
to it later, and you're going to think like it's from the 70s and 80s.
I'm
You're
sure
like,
I will.
That's a bop. That could have been that could be like Earth, Wind, and Fire.
So.
Yeah. I don't know if that's.
Okay.
I'm good. Actually.
Okay. Well, when the man behind the curtain, when Sean's good, Sean, you just give me a thumbs up when you're ready to rock. I guess he's ready to rock. Well, there was a lot of moves that have happened so far here that we were actually going to talk to him before the moves came out with the Chargers and Ravens. But also, we want to talk to him because he's got a couple events coming up. One, with Lights Out, and 2, this guy is a former Terp, and the Terps are having a good football season. Let's bring on former All-Pro linebacker and Maryland Terp, Sean Merriman.
Hey.
What's up, my man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. It's been a little bit. How you been?
Cranking as always.
Yeah, you're always moving and grooving, man. There's so many different places we could start here. Let's start with the first one with Lights Out, because that's been rocking and rolling. I think the next edition right here, if I got this right, you got one coming up here in Long Beach in a couple weeks.
Yeah, we got another huge one, man. And actually, some of these guys like Renato Valente, who's right there in the front, the main guy in the front. He's former UFC, I think UFC or Bellator. He fought in a couple of times, but we tried to get him on this last card, and he didn't make it. So we got him on this card, man. We're stacked, and the one next to him, Cole. Watch out for this kid, man. I'm trying to get him to a multi-fight deal and lock that in now. He's gone straight to the UFC. Like this dude is no joke. So, what's been cool, man. We've had 3 of our former guys either in the past month go to either Dana White Contender Series or the UFC and fought there. So it's pretty cool to see, the growth that we've had over this last year. It's been cranking. But yeah, our next big fight, November 1st, will be in Long Beach, California. But make sure you guys download Lights Out Sports TV. It's free on every smart TV, iOS and Android. Tons of free live sports there. But we'll be live at 4:30 November 1st.
Man, that's crazy. And I love the fact you mentioned this from the jump, like way back. I think one of the first times we talked about it, where you said, hey, like the caliber of fighter, like these guys are going to continue to get the opportunities. You're going to see these names down the road, but you have a chance to see them first. And in this case, you'll see them November 1st out there in Long Beach, California. Sean, where are you right now? Like you out west right now?
I'm in Vegas, home in Vegas.
Vegas, man. Hey, you are all over the place. There's a couple things I got to talk to you about, man. I mean, the LA Ravens thing is a real thing, by the way. It happens again and again. I got to ask you, are you shocked by that move at all? I mean, Adafe always going to LA for the Chargers. The Ravens get back Gilman's safety. Any shock to you about any of this?
No, not at all. Because if you look at both of the team weaknesses and what they need right now the most, it made sense. And you hate to see it, right? Because it is two really good players that's needed. So this is when the business get involved, right? When the business get involved, where there's team need for need. It's not that one of these guys are just underperforming and not playing well. It just said, hey, it's team needs. This is what we need right now. Khalil Mack is down probably for a few more weeks. Thule needs some help out there. And the Chargers are just banged up all over the place, man. I don't think we've ever seen anything like this where, the probably one or two best tackle in the league with Rashawn Slater goes down before the season starts, and then right behind him, Joe Alt with a high ankle sprain. Two of the best tackles in the NFL go down. Both your running backs are down right now. One for the whole season, the other one for several weeks. I mean, it's a mess. It's one of these things that you can have high hopes before the season start. If you feel good about everything, and in a matter of like 3 weeks, everything can change. Now, I think these guys are still in good shape. I think that they can squeeze by Miami. They're going to have, an uphill battle against the Colts. They'll be fine, but they got to weather the storm for these next 3 or 4 weeks. They
got to find a way. I mean, I thought after the first 3 weeks, I thought the Chargers were humming. They looked good, beat the Chiefs in Brazil. They looked like that team. Herbert was playing at an elite level, but yeah, the injuries sometimes can be too much. But then in Baltimore, people were going, wait a minute, they need more of the pass rushing help. But Brad, sorry, you had a question.
Yeah, that's actually where I was headed. So Sean, I mean, I understand what you're saying as far as, both teams had needs, but I think there's a lot of folks scratching their heads when it comes to the Ravens side of things, because they have the worst rush defense in football. They need edge guys and guys in the trenches, especially with Matty BK being out. And then the Ravens go and get more guys in the secondary. There's Kyle Hamilton, who's still out there, and then they got the rookie as well. So then they go and sign C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and then bring another guy over as far as safety in the trade. So what would you say to those folks that are kind of like wondering what's going on, because it seems as if the big need was really in the trenches for the Ravens?
Yeah, I would say probably interior more than the outside, to be honest, because they can't stop a nosebleed right now.
Right.
And I just think that the Ravens are in far worse shape right now as the Chargers. And so if you're looking at so many different needs, I mean, I'm not going to say they're building on a future or anything like that, but I think they start looking at guys who they can build around long term. That's how you got to be thinking right now. And in fact, I mean, I hate to say this or even bring it up because he's one of my favorite coaches, John Harbaugh, like his future could be on the line as well. Especially if, they missed the playoffs this year or something, continue to happen. But, I know he came out in the press conference after week 1 and said, our defense will be fine and we'll be good. And I'm looking at it like, that's not the same game we watched. It's just a different team that we're accustomed to seeing with the Ravens, man. So I think they got far more problems than the Chargers do right now.
I think that is a fair assessment. Especially record-wise. I mean, they lose to the Rams here, and if C.J. Stroud and the Texans, they were averaging about 15 points a game, which I still believe the Texans were a better offense than they showed. Well, they looked like a juggernaut, and then you have Matthew Stafford coming in, slinging the ball, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, Kyron Williams, just to name a few. They don't fix it quick. could be in trouble. Maybe that's why they wanted more secondary help, and maybe it was because they felt like they had too many inexperienced guys in the secondary. But let's talk about who they got in Alohi Gilman for a second, Sean. I mean, you've watched him. Explain to fans out there what the Ravens are getting, as the person you've seen him out there and also as the player.
With Gilman?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, he's an impact player. He's going to get on the field and perform for them right now. And you're going to see his presence on the field like right away. He's a guy that's physical, being back there in the secondary. He can come up in the box and make, crucial tackles. And he's somebody you got to account for because he's a playmaker. So I think the Ravens should be extremely happy with getting him. I was more looking at it from the Chargers standpoint because he's one of the guys. Like he was one of the guys that, for one, and I was talking to Derwin James about him before the season started. We're talking about the secondary and all that stuff. He got a lot of praise within that building, not just in the front office, but in that building. Guys really love to play with him. So I was more trying to, scratching my head the other way. I'm like, I know that Khalil's down for a few more weeks, but Tule's out there doing his thing. But Gilman is somebody who you look to be with your franchise for a long period of time. So I was looking the other way around.
Interesting how you put it that way. I know a lot of people in Baltimore were very frustrated with Odafe Oweh's inconsistent. People always want to look at numbers, Sean. You know that. They want to look at box scores. That doesn't always tell the tale. But for Odafe, as far as production-wise and those numbers, people felt with where he was drafted that they would have seen more. Odafe's even said, with paraphrasing, that he was a little bit ticked off, felt a little animosity, and he'll get a fresh start with the Chargers.
Let me just kind of dive in on that. With Odafe, I mean, what you look for guys like him, and let's talk about inconsistent. Sometimes, a lot of times actually, certain plays just not showing up in the stat book. I mean, pressures and causing the offense to get rid of the ball a lot faster than they want to. Somebody that needs to be accounted for. You just can't go out there and leave one-on-one all the time because inconsistent or not, you look for a guy like him to come in on a third down situation and be able to get them off the field. That's what Odafe can do for you right now. So even if when he gets to the Chargers and he doesn't fully understand the playbook, he doesn't fully understand everything just yet, you can put him in the game right now and he can be effective on a third and long situation to get them off the field. So I think that's what the Chargers is looking for because with Khalil, you had that there. You had that. You're not looking for him to be an every down player right now. If he can come in on third and long situations and you can plug and play, get him on the field and helping the Chargers out immediately, that's a win for the Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you broke it down that way. And that makes sense. That's the easiest thing to take pressure off of him. Hey, this is what we need you to do. Try to create a little bit of chaos. Go out there and just, apply some pressure. Yep. And I think the pressure will be off for him going out there, to be honest. Like in Baltimore, I think sometimes, and you know this, when people have an expectation and they feel like you aren't doing enough for them, right or wrong, they're going to give you shit. They're going to continue to press that, and it can rub you the wrong way. So it's a way to – could be a fresh beginning for him. Man, that's crazy. It's crazy that trade happened. I heard that there's going to be more trades here leading up to the deadline, not just with the Chargers and the Ravens, but it seems like other teams are going to get busy. Joe Flacco is probably going to end up getting traded to Pittsburgh so he can complete the AFC North round trip at some point here. But does anything ever surprise you anymore with the NFL, Sean?
Not really, because I think from the fans' perspective and how they look at certain things, the NFL makes moves based on the total roster, right? Like we were talking about Gilman, he's a damn good player. Yeah. So it had nothing to do with his ability to go out and perform. He was a high performer. I mean, he can play his ass off. Yeah. But how the NFL works in a lot of these organizations, they start looking at the pieces of the puzzle, and you never know how they are looking at things, right? I mean, a guy could be coming up in a contract situation. They know they're not going to pay him, right? And they start making moves like that. In the fans' perspective, they're looking at like, oh, shit, they got rid of this guy. Well, they wasn't going to pay him anyway. Let's get something for him. So these conversations are being had in these offices that most people don't understand, but trust me, they got a team of people that's sitting around looking at the salary cap, looking at, how many downs guys are playing, looking at if a guy can also play all the special teams and come in, third down situations. There's a lot to go in when you're looking at certain situations, and most fans just don't get that side of it. Hell, I think the NFL should let people in on, you talk about all these subscriptions. Everybody always complaining about an extra subscription somewhere. You throw that into one of those NFL packages and see how they break down the salary caps, see how they break down roster moves, why they're doing it. Yeah. I think that's a show in its own. People would actually really, really love to have an inside look in what goes on in those cases. Point on this side, what happened with Saquon, right? And the talks he was having, and they didn't want him to go. When we saw it was Hard Knocks, right?
Yep.
And that was just a short snippet, and then we see Saquon leave and go have this, these career-setting moments in Philly. But can you imagine if you had a team of 6 or 7 of the GMs, the assistant GMs, and all the scouts and player personnel sit in the office and really break it down on what they think about a player and why they're making these moves? Fans would absolutely love that. So I think that that's something that maybe they should look at, somewhere down the road.
Yeah, go ahead, Zach. Follow up.
Yeah, Sean, real fast, just kind of talking about the Ravens defense specifically right now, and you talked about, they can't stop a nosebleed right now. But in press conferences and interviews, multiple players on the defense have come out and said, we know it doesn't look good, but we're right there. It's just a little thing here and there. Can you kind of describe from what you've seen and maybe from experience what it's like to be on a defense? And do you think this is something the Ravens can fix, defensively, or can get better to where they, are competitive in these games and can stop even just a nosebleed? Or do you think it's maybe further than they say?
So the reason why I can relate to what's going on with the Ravens right now, in 2007, I think we started out 1-3 or something like that. Or we had a slow start. Our general manager, A.J. Smith at the time, called our defense soft and bewildered, right, in the media. And I was pissed. I went up and I said something back, which I shouldn't have said in the media. But that was one of those times I got called up to the office for saying what I said. But you're getting pounded by the media, you're getting pounded by the fans. And as players, we're sitting around looking like, okay, if this one guy was in the gap, that wouldn't have been a 22-yard run. We would have had a 2-yard gain, right? So we look at it as we're there. The fans just look at the box scores and see a guy rush for 120 yards. But, it's 1 or 2 guys been outside of a gap for them holding that team to 50 yards. And fans will never see that because that's how we evaluate. We don't evaluate by box scores. We're individual down performers. And so that's what it sounds crazy, like almost an scapegoat or an excuse. But I 100% understand what they're saying is like, hey, a guy just wasn't in the right gap, which allowed this long run or this long pass. So I can relate to that 100% sure.
Yeah, I was talking to Michael Brockers, Sean, and we were breaking down some of the D-line because I want him to explain for me and for our viewers out there, for our channel members. I'll drop that later on. But he's explaining some of the techniques and sometimes if a gap was missed. And other times he said, hey, actually the D-line did exactly what they were supposed to do. But there was a miscommunication in the secondary. And if you don't know what you're doing out there, it don't matter. And then vice versa, right? So now, granted, it'd be nice if the Rams don't put up a 44 burger this week, yeah. But that would be great. And also, Sean, aren't you glad you're on this side of the media where you can kind of say some shit and it's, not going to come back and bite you in the ass while you play?
This is the best side of it. All the shit that I said at the time got me called up to the office. Oh, fine. So it's great to be able to talk from this side of things. But you know what, too? It's because when you leave the game, you're still a fan, right? Like I'm a fan of watching Khalil Mack. I'm a fan of watching, Myles Garrett. I'm a fan of watching these guys, and I can sit back and look at it from a different angle. And there's certain things that they can't say because, by the way, if you say certain things, you're going to throw a guy under the bus. And that is just you're opening a whole new can of worms when you do that, even if somebody blew coverage, even if somebody wasn't in the right gap, even if there is a miscommunication problem. And you got to think, man, it could be one guy, one single guy, not going in the deep third or not covering the flats or whatever. And the other 10 guys aren't doing their thing. They're doing their job. So when I hear players say, hey, we're there, the fans like, yeah, right. They just threw up 38 on you. Right now, that game, they should have had 21, not 38, because this guy, and they can never say this guy didn't do his responsibility. And it's a tough thing to happen. But when it goes on for a long period of time, this is where everything unravels. Guys will just start throwing each other under the bus. You know what's happening in Philly right now with AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts. That thing is going to explode before the year's out. 100%. 100%. There's going to be an explosion there. I wouldn't doubt if he could be on the trading block or so. I mean, it's a thing where you start to see things unravel and guys throwing each other under the bus. And watch what I tell you. That thing it's coming.
Well, but I always love, I still love, I don't want to make a big deal about it. So I'm not going to, but I'm going to send out a tweet about I'll just withdraw myself. And then people will see all of that. And I could see tonight, Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown, they connect for a couple scores, or we could see the opposite, but there seems to be something that's going to
tension.
Oh, tension's a good word. It's going to boil over here soon enough. Right. And I appreciate you saying that. No one in the NFL, when someone's like, it's a direct person that makes a mistake, they're going to go, hey, we're all doing our jobs, except that guy, he's screwing up left and right. Like, you're not going to do that. You don't hear it across any sport. You don't. And that's, I'm glad you can say that. People are mad that the Ravens aren't pointing out the people that are the problems, but it's a lot more than, you got to do a lot more to cover up your team. You're a team at the end of the day. So, before I let you get out of here, the last thing I got to talk to you about, it's a couple things Maryland related. One, event that you have coming up here, but two, dude, how do we get the Terps to win? It was the most excitement I'd seen in College Park last weekend, Sean. And it felt like it was it. It's like the Terps are going to be undefeated playing Nebraska. Look at this, 17-point lead in the fourth quarter. And
how does it keep happening?
Show what you need to do.
Those things sting the worst. It sting the worst because the games that you are supposed to close out and win is going to become way more important later on during the season. Right? If that happened against Ohio State, if that happened against Michigan, you kind of like, okay, they're not there yet. But Coach, you know what? Coach Loxley knows that, man.
Yeah.
And as much as we want to sit around and think that they should be undefeated, which you got to close that game out. Mm-hmm. They're playing with a freshman quarterback. This freshman quarterback that's going to be there for another 3 years, right? Yep. Potentially another 2 years after this. I think he's gone after his junior year. But so you got the nucleus in Malik Washington. You got him there, and they got dogs on the defensive side and pass rushers. This is a legit team. We haven't seen a Terps team that's legit. And I was with Mike Loxley before the season started. I was back home in Maryland, and his tone was different. He was talking unlike the years before when I go catch up with him before the season starts. His tone was different about this team that they got, not just by player wise or talent wise. He was talking like this is a good group of guys that's going to be good for a long time. And I see it. I saw it right away earlier during the season. You just hope that there's no hangover. That is my biggest scare. That sometimes the games that you should win and you should close out sting way worse than getting blown out by anybody, because you can bounce back from a blowout. Yeah. But when you get the win taken out of you for a team that you should have beat, like Washington, I think that those things could be a bigger hangover than the blowouts. So that's my biggest concern with them. They got to sweep that loss under the rug, watch the film, and move completely on, because that could be a hangover.
Yeah, and here's the reality too. If they wash it away and they win their next two games, then you get Indiana coming to College Park, and right, Indiana's coming to College Park, and then like that game is going to be crazy, and then it makes the games down the road and that energy around the Terps that people want. It can all be there, but you're right. It happens. Malik Washington's a beast. The guys on the defensive side, they're beasts. There's a lot of optimism there, and there's a lot of good that can be happening there. And I just hope then, Sean, by November 22nd, when Michigan comes to town, I hope that game is going to be very meaningful on the field. But I know off the field, you do this every year. You got your coat drive on November 22nd, right?
Yeah, man. I got to remember. I think it's my 24th annual, dude. Like it's kind of crazy. And And, obviously growing up in the area, when I started this thing, I think it was my sophomore year at the University of Maryland, I had no idea that I'd be doing this 24 years later. Because initially I just I said, if we got 100 coats, that's 100 people that's going to be warm during the winter. That's a good thing. When we got 2,500 coats, I said, okay, now we got something. So, every year, man, we've been averaging 1,000 plus, 2,000 plus coats. I think we're over 40,000 coats collected now over the past, 24 years. And it means a lot because I still have people coming out, even I've been on the West Coast now for, 2 decades for pretty much, that I still have people coming out and, I'll have people reaching out on social media. Hey, when are you having that coat drive this year? And, people are looking forward to it. But this year is going to be special, trying to work something out now with AJ Francis and his canned food drive. And I didn't know until I was reading an article about, it had been 7 or 8 years ago, maybe longer, that he started his canned food drive because of my coat drive. And I just thought that was really cool, man. And that when you have that type of impact and somebody to kind of carry the torch, it was always been cool for me.
You love people helping people's a phrase I like to use a lot. And then it's even cooler when people helping people leads to more people helping people. And I think that's awesome that because you started something, someone else did. So I can't wait for that. And Sean, you guys got to let me know if you have any flyer or anything that you have so I can get the good word out there as we get closer. But November 22nd is the date, right? So we're a little bit over a month away.
Yep, a little bit over a month away. I'll get through this November 1st date with the fights and then really start honing in on the coat drive. And this year we're bringing on a couple partners. DTLR, man. DTLR has always been a big donor of ours. They'll be back on, back on partners with us again this year. And, just keep it going, man. I mean, just to be able to have this thing for 24 years. I got to go back. I think it's 24 years, man. That's a long time. Yeah. And then hopefully, when my son go to Maryland one day, he can continue on to do it. So we'll see.
There you go.
That'd be awesome. It's crazy, Zach. The drive's been going on as long as you've been born, almost.
Okay, I was gonna say 2 more years. I got 2 years on it. I have 1 year on it.
Yeah, coat drive's going on, and then one of these days, Sean's gonna teach you not to get your ass kicked.
One day.
Yeah.
One day. Yeah.
One thing at a time. There.
Yeah. That's you can still get your ass whooped like that using that.
We're working on it, Sean.
You know what? Your hands were a little bit higher this time, so you're getting better.
Maybe step
better.
We're gonna have a tutorial one of these days. That'll be great. But Sean, appreciate you, man, as always. And lights out November 1st. It'll be 7:30 this time, right? I believe you said
Yep.
Eastern time, 4:30 Pacific. Keep doing your thing, and I look forward to talking to you soon. All right.
You got it, brother. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Sean Merriman, everybody.
Thanks, Sean.
Hey, you know what?
Always love having him on.
He's amazing.
He did not forget that.
That was
like almost 2 years. Was it 2 years ago?
That was critical.
Here's the thing. If we're going through this list real quickly, it would be a liability for you. But I would love to see you 30 seconds in the ring with one of these guys.
30 seconds?
That's a long time.
15 seconds.
I'm giving myself 11 seconds, and that's because I'm running for the first 9. The second one, this is 30 seconds. You have way too much confidence in me.
That's an eternity.
I'm not even gonna start running, and I'm gonna be like, oh, he's sending the punch, and then I'm going to get rib shotted with a kick, and then it's going to be the backspin, and I'm done. I'm just going to be – you guys are carrying me off there.
Or he can try to put you in a submission chokehold or something. Just hold on for 5 seconds,
Look, anybody who's got a cauliflower ear and tattoos like that I'm out. I'm out. Not doing it.
And also these guys then, Sean was saying – they've had guys go directly from here right to UFC.
Yeah.
So these guys are high level fighters.
You know what? Actually, you put me and Kevin both in there at the same time, and we can get a little distraction going on. So maybe we last 17.
One of you guys will be sacrificed.
Roy should ask him.
We just run in.
Why don't you ask him?
Yeah. Kevin, you in?
Kevin, how long would you last? Oh,
I can't hear him.
Can't hear him.
Every
Dude,
time, Kevin.
God
Every time.
damn it, you suck so bad.
Kevin, in and out.
Goodbye, Kevin.
You know-
Actually, yes.
Go
2
ahead.
days ago, it happened even farther. Me and Kevin did we did a reaction, and we literally were talking to each other beforehand. Hit the intro, get back, and Kevin's mic somehow shut off in between that time. So Kevin, leave and come back like you do.
Yeah, like that JoJo song, Kevin, leave right now, get out, leave, get out.
Yeah. It's the end of
It's
you
the
and
end
me.
of you and me. It's too late.
Yeah, let's see.
And I can't wait for you to be gone.
Well, and he's back.
And he's back.
Hello.
Hey!
It does me, I finally get back on the show.
You were
And my mic says, no, we don't want to hear what you have to say. That's what my mic's saying to me.
Do you want to? So Zach's idea of lasting in the ring with one of those fighters. Do you think personally, on your own, do you think you could last 30 seconds in that ring, one-on-one with one of these guys?
I feel like I would have to. So look, I'm skinny. I got sharp elbows. All right. I got sharp elbows. You got to do an elbow like directly to the thigh, like get it right on the, like make it really sting for a little bit. And then you just run around because they can't catch you.
So you're saying you're going to land an elbow
on the thigh, elbow on the thigh, just so they're not as fast, so that I can run around.
Kevin, I hate to break this to you, but in the time you get that elbow up and going down, you out. They've hit you with 4. That's why I said I will.
You gotta get the. I'll practice one move like for months, just that elbow duck, the quick elbow duck, and then you're out of there. There you go.
It hasn't been established yet in
they have no film on Kevin.
No. And this,
I know.
I think we should talk to Sean about this. A Rocco Kevin MMA fight, because we do have a lighter, more nimble. Rocco's a little denser from the top up.
Yeah.
So
he's top heavy.
He is very top heavy.
That's who you got to hit with the elbow to the.
See,
that's taking Rocco.
That's the guy right there.
He's done.
That's how you do it. That's how
I guess so. I guess you got to work your way up. We start with Rocco, and then we move up the ranks, and then we'll finally make it to lights out, and then that's how we'll do it.
Exactly.
And then the MMA, UFC.
Yeah,
the MMA, that's all.
I'm ready.
Sam made a good point here. I feel like they could punch you in the face 10 times before y'all could see.
Yeah, see, the problem would be the reach. Like, yeah, it's like their reach is so out there that like I would have to perfect that duck because they could get me pretty far out. So
You could maybe you try biting a kneecap.
Have you guys seen that famous video of the boxers where the one, I guess, wasn't being paid or something, or the person had been caught for PEDs that they were facing, and literally the bell rings and they just slowly walk out of the ring and walk up the thing and everyone's booing? That would be me in the fight. It'd be like, oh, here it goes. Ding, ding, ding. He's climbing the cage. He's climbing the cage and leaving.
Well, that's what are the rules? Can you, if you get a good grip, can you just like hang up there and?
No, you can't touch the cage, or you can't grab the cage in UFC. You can't use it for leverage or anything.
And you can't exit the cage.
Yeah.
You definitely cannot run around the arena.
No.
Yeah, you can't.
What if I learned? Do you know like the what is it? It's not gravity. I don't know what. Look, this is why I'm here and not doing math and science stuff. But like the gravity where you can like run on a circle.
Yeah. Like the G forces or whatever.
Yeah. Like you run and the force carries you around. What if I just ran around?
It's an incline.
You are talking also about a car that's going hundreds of miles an hour. I don't know.
But what if you were fast enough to do it? No, people. No, there are people who've done it.
Yeah,
on a slant.
Give it a shot, Kevin.
Yeah, let us
Not
know.
straight up cage.
I know what you're talking about, but this also is that design is not in the octagon.
No.
Do I get no handicap? Like nothing?
Flat surface.
No.
Kevin, I think if me and you both went in there as a 2-on-1, I think we could last 30 seconds as long as we like had a plan.
But are we on the attack or are we just defending?
No, we're not going on the attack. We're trying to last 30 seconds.
Okay, then fine. I don't have to outrun the fighter. I have to outrun you.
No,
It'd be a sacrifice. One of you guys is going down, or maybe one of you throws the other one into the guy.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin, like
Also,
we throw you.
this like I have height and weight on.
Yeah, I'm to
Yeah.
Zach, Brad, and Rip. They just use their height powers to.
We're all twice as big as Kevin.
Rocco.
Yeah.
Would be,
I
would,
only work with people who are twice my height. It's a problem.
The issue with Rocco is he probably also looks at the fighters and he's like, I could last 2 minutes in there.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Like, I would literally last 2 minutes in there.
Yeah,
Like,
well, and that's fine. We'll let him go. Like, you know what? Why not, Rocco?
I'm
Have
carrying
at
you
it.
out.
Have at it.
Yeah, you guys give him like the fake, like, oh no, we can't, oh no, and then when the minute hits, you just go crazy. And
I would maybe even ask Sean, like, if they could, him and Rocco could spar one of those days. Like
Oh yeah.
like, hey, Rock, like, because you made fun of me with the Merit clubs, you know, spar. Well, Sean does that too.
Yeah.
Sean,
Have at it, buddy.
that'd be great. That'd be great.
I still want to do the bubble thing where we get the bubbles around.
Oh, yeah.
Like the balls.
Yeah.
Kevin wants to run around in some balls.
I want Nick to hit me when I am wearing the bubble.
Okay. That didn't sound right. There was a pause in there.
So, you see, you gotta save it. You gotta save it.
You gotta save it. Well, good times, kid. Well, we had Sean. Sean was on, obviously. Sean was actually. He said he was more surprised that the Chargers gave up Gilman. He was more shocked on that. He said like he was very high regarded over there as a impact player. So I thought that was very interesting. And I done my homework. I really liked him coming over, but that was the first time I'd heard a lot of people were saying, "Oh, the Ravens need more pass rushers." Well, Sean thinks there's a chance that the Ravens got the more impactful player, at least that really is going to help them. And I don't know, cap space is clearing up.
Yep.
There's some room right now. What could happen next?
I'm telling you.
So you're telling me there's a chance here, Kev?
Yeah, Gilman was kind of like the one of the communicators on that defense, I think. So that's something that the Chargers won't have to feel pretty confident they can replace because that's a big chunk of their D. So I'm sure that's where Sean was coming from too. But you know, yeah, their pass rush. I heard him talking about it. Their pass rush is awful right now. Always their second highest pressure rate guy now. I think he's. I can't remember the exact number, but always like 30 something, I think. And then the next two Chargers defenders after OA are like in the hundreds in terms of pressure rate. So
yeah, Jim Harbaugh also said that like their pass rush is terrible.
It's not good.
He didn't hold back on that either. So not surprising.
Yeah. But the cap space thing is interesting because again, if you end this week 1-5, you're in a terrible spot. Like we can just all admit that straight up. Season's not over. Right now, the Ravens do have the 8th easiest strength of schedule remaining. And that'll happen when you play the Chiefs and the Bills and the Lions and those teams early on. But you would have to go on a pretty historic run to get, even just because the team that made the playoffs with the worst record last year, there were a couple of them at 10-7. So you'd essentially, just to have that minimum 10-7 record from last year, you'd have to go 9-2 over your last 11,
and then get some help
to get in. Yeah, you need a lot of it. So that, and you still have 5 AFC North games, which again, the division is not looking nearly as strong as it was before the season. But we know those games can get really weird sometimes, and you know you never know what happens with those. The Packers game is one that if they can't get it going, that's going to be another bajillion to nothing blowout. So hopefully by that point they're better. Patriots, I mean, you know, Lamar Jackson misses 1 week of football, and all of a sudden people are talking about if Drake May is better than Lamar Jackson or who you'd rather take to start a franchise. So that's a team you got to look at. But at this point, the Ravens do need to make some level of a move. The problem is that organizationally, I just don't have confidence that they're going to make the big splash move. So here is my dream. The dream trade deadline. We can write it up. We can book it. We can send it over. We can put it everywhere. Kevin Zeitler and Calais Campbell is the dream. Bring 2 former Ravens back. That to me is the most realistic option.
Emory Jones.
Get Calais out of Arizona.
Get Zeitler out of Tennessee too, man. I mean, look, offensive line is Yeah, it's really hard to trade for during the season because everybody needs offensive line help and no one wants to give it up, at least good ones. So if the Titans, if the Ravens throw, the Ravens are scheduled to have, if everything continues, 5 fifth-round picks this year. 5 of them. I think you can move up a couple of those. Maybe if you want a 4th or even a 3rd to get Kevin Zeitler in, because look, the guard play is impacting the entire offensive line. It's bad right now. You need to beef up those trenches. I don't think they're going to go out there and trade for like a Dexter Lawrence or Quinnen Williams. I'd love it, but I think the Campbell, the Zeitler, those are the more realistic options.
More veteran savvy guys that can fit a need that maybe aren't the explosive player, but can be very impactful for the team. Yeah, I mean, look, also with that second half, I consider the bye. It's not obviously we're at the midway point, but like that's the second half. When the bye's done, like that's it's a sprint for them until they get there. No breaks. You're in it. You're going to try to make a run at 11 games to go after that. You know, the bigger part here, Kev, I mean, they got to play in the NFC teams because the tiebreakers here would be head-to-head and AFC opponents. Yeah. The Ravens have lost to they've lost to the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Texans. That's 3 AFC losses. So really down the stretch, like losing to the Packers or the Vikings, would it hurt as much, or the Bears? But losing those AFC games possibly could be the one that hurts because you already have 3 losses against you. That's where they have to make up ground. They got 5 division games, and they have, 8 AFC opponents left on the schedule? So am I wrong with that? It's 8?
That sounds right.
Because they had to play the Vikings, the Bears, and the Packers, right? Those are those teams. And I don't know if they have to play one more NFC team.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 8.
Man, math is good. Go Hounds, by the way. They teach it at Gilman Friends or Loyola over there.
Yeah.
You're looking.
For who you're fucking talking to.
No.
Wow.
So like, here's
wow.
Mr. Tough Guy. He's been on the show 2 years now, and he's like, I can.
Yeah, congrats, Zach. That's a big accomplishment. I saw the logo and everything. Shout out to Nancy, man. That's huge.
Yeah,
we are going to taste this.
Oh yeah,
I am going to
without question.
Oh yeah.
The problem is, I know I'm going to want to eat the entire thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's where the problem is.
That's where
those types of cookie cakes get you
every time.
Yeah.
60% of the time they get you.
Yeah.
Every time.
Well, guys, a couple other things as we get closer. We got a little bit of time left in the show, but I did put out on Instagram today. Speaking of the Ravens play the Rams on Sunday. And thanks to our friends over at Next Move Charm City and the Loan Depot, the Rich Belanger team. Next Move Charm City, Brett and Shannon are allowing us to give away 2 tickets and a parking pass to this game on Sunday.
Oh.
So on Instagram, if you want to enter, go on the Instagram, follow, comment, and we're going to pick that winner on Friday. 2 tickets and a parking pass to the Ravens-Rams game this Sunday at the bank. So appreciate our friends over there. Around Maryland, though, we talked to Sean already about the Terps. The team that the Chargers did just play a little bit further down, the Commanders, well, they looked pretty damn good. Bill looked good. Shout out Bill, man.
Oh, yeah. It looked real good.
I mean, thanks for actually showing up. Like I said earlier, my fantasy team, he's got to be running back 1. I understand that they're still trying to do this, like, we don't want to commit, all this stuff. Like, guys will still get reps. Bill has proven he's running back 1. He's got the talent. Don't overthink it. You're looking for a running back to help out with Jaden Daniels, all that. I don't think Terry McLaurin's going to go this week. Going to be interesting to see. I think he's back at practice, but I don't think they're going to clear him. We'll see what happens. Bill's a weapon. Use him.
I mean, can anyone hate Bill right now? No. Like his persona talking to Brady, just like so genuine. Like he just seems like a guy you would love to get 20 to 30 touches for and 2 touchdowns, right, Zach? That's just kind of what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of goal line snaps, stuff like that. Maybe a few catches, screens, PPR points.
And also, it's a doubleheader on Monday. 2 games.
Okay, can we talk about this?
It's
week 6.
Are we in or out on this?
Yeah. Okay, hold up. What, Kevin? You can answer.
It's like 7:15 and 8:15, right?
I mean, I don't hate the idea, but I hate that there are 2 games going on at the same time on Monday.
What's better though? A 7 o'clock game and a 10:15?
I mean, yeah.
7:15 and 9:15. The end of the one game as the other one is starting. That way there's not, but right now
7 and 9:30 maybe.
Like just
Well, if you live out west, if like we lived in Denver or like out in California, 2-hour time change, 3-hour time change, like that's pretty nice. Like, oh, first game starts at 5 or 4:30.
But we don't live out there.
I know. Hypothetically, I'm a night owl, so I mean, I'm going to watch that. I'm going to be up here going like, I got to go to bed, and here I am watching Aston Genty play the Chargers and not him get hit behind the line of stream.
It's not gonna happen.
Line of scrimmage.
I try to stay awake at my old age, and it just doesn't happen.
Well, that's the thing is like I understand that aspect of why they didn't want to start multiple at 10. I just don't get the whole. They're like, we're staggering, and that's smart. But is an hour stagger really that much? Like, I feel like we're now a lot of overlap is just the meat of the games.
Yeah.
Is just like you can double screen, you can do all that. But I feel like if they're going to truly do this right, it's got to be at least an hour and a half, 2 hours. Like if you could get it in that like an hour and a half, that's usually sitting around halftime. So one game starting as the other goes to half, that would even be better because as the other game's going to halftime, you can watch the end of the other game and then that's over. Then you can just, I just don't like, I feel like the hour difference, one starting at 7:15, one at 8:15. And also the fact that we're in week 6. I feel like when I think of Monday Night Football doubleheaders, it's week 1. Now we're in week 6 and it's still going on.
Yeah. I love watching football, like in
yeah.
primetime matchups. I love that there's options. Like if one game's terrible, then maybe you can turn it on. But wasn't it in prime time? It was just the one game, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me. But shout out where we started with this. Shout out Bill. Bill looks like the guy. Commanders look good. Commanders look in a lot better spot. And hey, they could be in a good position. The Giants can pull an upset tonight against the Philadelphia Eagles. And with that being said, why don't we take a quick trip up to our friends at Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races in
West Virginia.
Good. Really good. And we're going up to our friends up there at Charlestown Races in West Virginia. And the Eagles take on the Giants tonight on Thursday Night Football. So it's time to go over to our little Bolly's Bet corner. And Zach, what do we got cooking tonight?
Yeah, so 2-0 in our past 2 with throwback pictures, and we kind of talked about it.
That?
Yeah. So we were talking with Sean about it a little bit ago, and he talked about, man, there's some tension in Philly, some things that might boil over, and there's maybe a little pressure on some players. There's a little saying I like to think about. Pressure can burst pipes.
Ooh.
Oh.
Or it can make diamonds. That's why today we're going A.J. Brown. Hotty toddy. A.J. Brown over 64.5 receiving yards. I think he gets a big play tonight. I would not be surprised if he has one of those 40, 50-yard touchdowns tonight. I mean, the secondary for the Giants isn't great. I think the Eagles, we've seen all the tweets. We've seen all the noise about, they can't throw the ball. Jalen Hurts, if you make him throw, they're not winning the game. They've heard it. I think they come out here. They're going to try to appease their wide receiver 1 because if they don't, those tweets are going to get more and more. And holy crap, is that trade deadline quickly approaching. We're less than a month away. And if it doesn't get fixed fast, I'm not sure we see A.J. Brown in Philadelphia on what would that be, November 5th. So A.J. Brown over 64.5 yards. Keep your wide receiver 1 happy, baby.
I'm really curious in a couple of reasons here. I'll start with the game first. 1, something's going to give with that Philly offense. It's either they're going to hum and they're going to be rocking and rolling, or one of A.J. Brown or both, and Saquon Barkley is going to get going. Saquon only got like 6 carries in that game against Denver.
Yeah.
So he's either eating or A.J.'s eating, or maybe they both eat. And then secondly, is that a phrase, pipes bursting and then you make diamonds?
Yep, that is
No,
crazy.
it's pressure
Pressure
burst pipes, but it can also make diamonds.
Yeah. Pressure burst pipes or make
Ever heard
diamonds.
that before?
You know what?
I've heard about it making diamonds. I just didn't
Yeah,
hear-
pressure does 2 things: burst pipes or breaks diamonds.
You know, it just wouldn't be the first thing when I think about with pressure and diamonds.
Coming down on me.
Yeah, I think
Coming
under
down
pressure.
on you.
under pressure.
Under pressure. Pushing down on me. Yeah. Kevin, have you heard that Instagram song that's like going viral? That's like Portuguese, Brazilian funk. It's like 80s.
The one
Yeah, na, 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 na,
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
This is crazy. He knows this.
That is crazy that Kevin knows it.
I'm gonna play the song. It's a bop. And I think
It's catchy.
AI.
It's catchy.
I think
Yeah.
it's AI too.
There's a lot of I know the viral one you're talking about, but that whole genre is like taking over right now.
Oh, it is. But that one, I thought it was like from the 70s and 80s, like talking about disco time here, feeling funky. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't understand a word they're saying because I think it's in Portuguese.
It's good. It's good.
It's a bop. It is.
I
Okay.
mean, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I'm not going to question
I'm
it.
going to play it right after this.
I know. I don't doubt that you will.
Might get up on this table.
You should.
Bar.
You should.
To the window.
To the wall.
To the wow.
Whoa.
To the bar.
To the bar.
Till sweat drops down my bar.
Bowels.
No, I said bar. Oh, you said.
I
Yeah,
said,
he said it.
Oh, happy throwback Thursday to you. What a song that talk about lyrics at a young age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not what you should be belting at 12 or 13 years old. But guess what? Guilty. I was belting that at like 9.
I hate to break it to you. When it first came out, I was at a high school dance.
Okay.
I was 14.
There you go. Then
Bumping
you
and
were-
grinding.
You were really going
Actually, yeah.
to the
When it
wall.
was happening.
There's actually right now it's
Chaperones
catching
didn't like that.
it's catching on again. Have you heard the Lady Gaga stuff that's going on right now with Poker Face?
No.
Do you know what the actual lyrics are to Poker Face?
Yes.
Yes.
I do know what the word.
And that radio stations have played it for its entire
Yeah, that was like
time.
to the window, to the wall. People didn't know what
Dude,
the old skeet man either. And they put that
Yeah.
right on the radio too.
I mean, I still
They still do it.
Freak a Leak by PD Pablo is
Yeah, Lady Gaga actually congratulated the one radio station. It was somewhere abroad, but she congratulated the one radio station that censored it properly because no one else did. No one knew.
you know,
So
I guess
that's making the rounds
that's
now.
when you know it's really catchy. You know,
Yeah.
is that it's so disguised that you just follow the beat. Like I have no idea what that Portuguese funk song actually means.
Yeah, it could mean something pretty terrible.
It really might be provocative. I don't know, but is
Gets
it
the
a
people
pop
going.
of a tune? It does get the people going. Shirts and pants.
Is it like dancing on my own, getting people going?
I mean, you have to like this genre. Dancing on My Own's like it's in its own category. Like Pink Pony Club, like that's songs that elevate with the group.
Yeah.
This one is just like I could have no one around me, and I could be in my car, which I was earlier today, and I am bopping to this thing.
Okay.
And I'm trying to sing in Portuguese, but I don't know the words. So like I'm just saying words out loud. Have you ever done that in the car? Where like
oh
you're-
yeah, 1000%.
and then you think you know the exact words, and if you turn the song off and you just like or have the instrumental, it's really evident how much we just don't know some words.
Oh yeah.
Except Confessions Part 2. I know that one.
No.
All right. Am I missing anything?
No.
I don't think so.
I would like some cake. I
Me
would like some cookie cake.
too.
Let's
Do we have that right now? Do we have a cheers of a cookie cake?
No, we can wait till after.
Oh,
show.
we'll wait till after.
That's gonna take a long time.
Yeah, I was going to say I need to find something to cut it with.
Yeah.
Do we-
There's a lot of dead air involved in that.
Oh, okay. Well, Kevin, it's good to see you. Would you like an Ollie photo?
Oh, look at that.
You
Oh yeah. Those were at the wedding, is what I'm gathering.
mom like has a bunch of them that just
Party
like, people-
favors.
yeah, party favors.
Oh, it's so
There's
funny.
also one of
which
me
there
with
were-
Brady Anderson sideburns.
Yeah.
Oh,
The party favors were there. I mean, koozies and napkins and all kinds of
We have napkins,
Ryan and
Kevin,
Jamie branding.
with the Ryan Ripken Show logo, of course, right?
Yeah.
everywhere. Yeah, I actually got tattooed on my ass.
Wow. That's what they are. Wow, that's crazy.
It's about shucking time.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
corn, the corn runs deep through the Ripken family.
Yeah. Because we've been together for so long.
So funny.
So funny. Jamie loved it. That's all that matters. I love my wife. Okay, let's get out of here. I do that. As always, here at the Ryan Ripken Show, we appreciate each and every one of you. Have a day, have a night, have a great rest of your week. Have a good weekend if I don't see you, but I might see you tomorrow because Kyle and the Iron Rooster and I will be cooking right here. Maybe we'll answer some questions and get you ready for a nice, beautiful, and hopefully fun-filled weekend with the Ravens W. See you guys.
Peace.
Where do we start with that?